My name is Lori Barr. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Raise the Bar.
My name is Evelyn Batres, and I am one of the whole family program coordinators for Raise the Bar.
I'm Stephanie Sandler, the Chief Impact Officer and the child of a student parent.
Hi, scholars. My name is Davini Cox. I am the whole family program coordinator.
Hi, my name is Christopher LaRose, and I'm the whole family program coordinator.
Hi, everyone. My name is Norma Lopez Matias. I'm a former student parent, and I'm one of the whole family coordinators of Raise the Bar.
Hi, my name is Christian Johnson, and I'm the 2Gen coordinator for Raise the Bar.
Hi, I am Brenna Basor. I am the whole family program coordinator in Minneapolis and the daughter of a student parent.
Welcome, everyone. This is the Raise the Bar Stable Housing Information Session. I am Stephanie Sandler, Chief Impact Officer for Raise the Bar. We will cover in this session an overview of our programming, what it requires to be eligible for the application, and also answer some frequently asked questions. However, if you have additional questions, we will be available to reach via email, and we will share that information with you as well. So our mission is to increase the economic mobility and opportunity for single parent students, which is all of you. We celebrate your strength and your resourcefulness and your resilience. We do all of this through what you might hear us call a 2Gen lens, which is really just recognizing that the health and well-being of single parents is really tied to the health and well-being of their children. And so all our programming keeps in mind both generations. Lori could not join us tonight, but Lori Barr is a co-founder with her son Anthony Barr of Raise the Bar. It was founded in 2016. This is a picture of Lori with Anthony when at her graduation at Loyola. Lori was in college when she became pregnant with Anthony. And a lot of Raise the Bar's programming is really inspired by their experience. Anthony serves as the president of the board and kind of keeps the lens of the child experience and often talks about that.
So next up is our year in review. So this talks about what we have accomplished in 2025 and what we've accomplished in the last 10 years of programming as we come up on our 10-year anniversary. So in 2025, 96 of scholars persisted in school, and 66 of the scholars completed the semester with a GPA of 3.0 or higher, which is amazing. We have also done over 2,000 hours of one-on-one coaching with a scholar and a mentor. In the last 10 years, we have awarded $1.4 million in stipends and scholarships. We have distributed $166,000 in emergency grants and supported 203 families, including 365 children. So how does poverty and education align? Nearly 10% of all U.S. undergraduate students are single moms. 25% of single mom students have difficulties accessing childcare, among so many other things that they are challenged with. U.S. single mothers are almost 2 times less likely to live in poverty when they have an associate's degree, and 3 times less likely to live in poverty when they have a bachelor's degree. Black women account for 31% of the country's single mother student population, and Native American women account for 23%. Our 2Gen approach, this is a huge part of our programming. 2Gen just means that we support both the parent and the child, and that's a huge part of who we are at Raise the Bar. We believe that the well-being of a parent and the well-being of a child is interconnected. When a kiddo's doing good, parents doing good. When a parent's doing good, kiddo's doing good. So this is huge, and we love to support the entire family. We love to see kiddos see their parent graduate and walk across the stage, see their parent working so hard in school, and then growing up to do the same thing, hopefully, and be just seeing parents be such great role models for their kids. So this is a huge part of our programming.
I will be going over how we implement our cohort models for Raise the Bar cohort members. Before I begin going into the direct services that are available to our cohort members, I just wanted to start off by noting the difference between our stable housing cohort and our career development cohort. And so our stable housing cohort, of course, is the cohort that you may be interested in applying to, and that's why you're watching this information video. And to be eligible for that cohort, you do have to be attending one of our partner community colleges that we're currently partnering with. And for this cohort, students receive a monthly stipend to support your housing stability while you're enrolled in school. And so the stipend is for you to pay rent, basic needs, and by being in the cohort, there is mandatory programming attached that we will be going over in a later slide today. Our career development cohort, on the other hand, is a cohort that students cannot apply to as new cohort members. You either have to be a previous career development cohort member that's continuing in the cohort, or a previous stable housing cohort member who has either transferred to a university or maybe has completed the up to 2 years of the stable housing cohort and is transitioning to this cohort to continue receiving programming that's tailored for career readiness and a reduced stipend to continue supporting you while you're pursuing your bachelor's degree or your transition from college to career. Because if you have transferred to a university, then of course, you're closer to getting that bachelor's degree that you are working towards. And so that cohort is more tailored to the needs of those cohort members. The Huddle on Fifth is a residential building in Sacramento that's exclusively for single parent students and their children. And these students, of course, are enrolled in a higher education program. We also offer emergency grants for our current cohort members. And the purpose of this funding is to alleviate a one-time unexpected emergency, an unforeseen circumstance that may have come up that could prevent you from remaining enrolled in school. If this is something that you are interested in applying to once you join the cohort, then you are more than welcome, and we encourage you to talk to your program coordinator just to see if you are eligible for the funds. Family programming. So as previously mentioned, we are a 2-gen organization. We provide programming for the entire family, and the programming that we provide includes family outings that are offered throughout the school year. And the purpose of these outings are for you and your children to participate in community building with other cohort members. Sometimes we'll combine different cohorts, like for example, our Long Beach cohort with our Valley Region cohort, so that students can get to know other students throughout the area, other single parent students and their children. And these outings will be included in your cohort calendar that you will be receiving from your program coordinator at the beginning of the school year, so that you know what to expect throughout the entire school year and what will be offered for you and your children. Our Little Scholars grants, these, just an FYI, are only currently available for Minnesota and Sacramento cohort members. If you're currently in LA, we have plans to hopefully launch this in the future, but Little Scholars grants are available to provide after school and enrichment program access for children of single parent students. But like I said, this is only currently in Minnesota and Sacramento. Hopefully we will have it soon in LA as well. And lastly, community partnerships. So we, as I mentioned earlier, partner with various community colleges in LA, the San Fernando Valley, Sacramento, and in Minnesota. And the purpose of these partnerships, of course, is to not only provide support services for single parent students to help them with access to higher education and retention, so that you achieve your higher education goal. But it's also to raise awareness of the needs of single parent students, help with data collection that will hopefully bring more accessibility and retention rates for single parent students. And we also do collaborate very closely with the on-campus resources at your campus. So just know that if you make it into the cohort, when you're meeting with your program coordinator monthly, Make sure you let them know if you need any on-campus support, because that is something we can help you connect with as well. Any resources or tutoring you may need at your school. So the Raise the Bar cohort timeline for this upcoming 26 to 27 school year. So May 21st, the application opens up for the stable housing cohort, and we will be accepting applications on a rolling admission. So what that means is that if you are interested in applying, we highly encourage you to apply. The earlier the better, just because we will be reviewing applications as we are receiving them. So as we're reviewing them, we will be emailing students to let them know about the next step in the application process if you're selected to move forward. And that is to do a virtual interview with a program coordinator or the program coordinators for the cohort you're applying to. And you will be emailed once you apply to let you know if you made it to the next round of interviews or if you did not. And once you complete interviews, if you make it to that next step in the application process, once you complete the interview, then the program coordinators that you interview with will be notifying you of your application acceptance status or application status on a rolling basis as we are reviewing applications and conducting interviews. Like I mentioned, the interviews will be conducted virtually, and you will be emailed if you're selected for that to schedule something after you apply, of course. The deadline for the application will be July 15th. However, if we fill up our spots that we have available in the stable housing cohort for the upcoming school year sooner than that, then we will be closing the application sooner, because we do have very limited spots in each of the cohorts. If you are accepted into the cohort, then you will be notified about an orientation that will be happening in August. And then September through May 2027 will be our programming. So our workshops and programming begin September of 2026 and they run through May 2027. June 2027 is our culmination for cohort members, which is our end of the year celebration, where we celebrate your accomplishments throughout the school year as well as those of your children. And this is just the sample calendar that we would like to share with everyone. It's not the actual calendar for next year, but this is the sample calendar that was used for my cohort members for the Valley region this school year. And as you can see, orientation was in August. We kicked off workshops in September, and we had workshops once a month up until May. We just had our last virtual workshop for May. And we also had parent support groups every month. We had some family outings planned throughout the school year. We do have some in-person events, some virtual events, but of course you will be notified early on by your program coordinator what the dates will be, the modalities of the meeting, so that way you can plan accordingly and pencil in all of the required programming that you need to participate in for the school year. And we also have SPAC meetings, which you will learn more about in this presentation for our Student Parent Advisory Council. And those meetings are the first Saturday of each month if they continue to be that way next school year. But this is just a sample calendar. You will be receiving one of these if you make it into the cohort, like I mentioned, so that way you can start penciling dates, and that will help with your time management and making sure that you can attend all of the required programming. But that is it.
Goal of the program is not just to support the students academically or just financially, but it's also to just support the families in general and support your journey while you're going through school. Through our program, you would receive wraparound services like monthly stipends, help get connected to community resources, financial empowerment support, access to tailored workshops, and one-on-one coaching. There are also family events and networking opportunities, along with other resources designed to help single student parents succeed. The stable housing cohort does run from August to June as a one-year cohort program. However, students can continue if they continue to meet the eligibility requirements. And will have an opportunity to return for a second year, which is the maximum allowed to participate in this specific cohort. For eligibility, you may ask yourself, well, how do I qualify? How can I apply, right? Can I apply? If you're in California, you must be enrolled in one of the following partner schools, which would be Long Beach City College, Los Angeles Valley College, Los Angeles Pure College, and Los Angeles Mission College for the 2026-27 academic year. If you're in Minnesota, you must be enrolled in Minneapolis College or Dunwoody College. And, going down the list, be the primary caregiver, dependent minder, provide primary financial support for yourself and the minor. This could be proved by a tax return, verification of benefits, I believe, or other legal documentation. Have not yet earned a bachelor's degree, be committed to maintaining a minimum of 9 credit hours each academic term, have a cumulative GPA of a 2.5, be willing to commit an average of 4 hours per month to Raise the Bar programming, currently be experiencing housing insecurity, have at least 1 semester of post-secondary education. There are some priority preferences in California that will be given to those who intend to transfer to a university/college, are single student parents with children between the ages of 0 to 5, or are former foster youth themselves. Programming and expectations. So as part of the Raise the Bar stable housing cohort, students are expected to actively participate in different programs and activities throughout the year. And those are several required activities that students must complete during the program. These include, right, attending monthly workshops, participate in one-on-one mobile mentoring, completing monthly goal setting check-ins. Students will also take part in financial empowerment coaching, maintain at least a 2.0 GPA throughout the time that you're enrolled with us, and attend our family engagement events. Beyond the required activities, there's also opportunities that we offer for you to further succeed, right? And these include networking events, access to emergency grants, peer-to-peer support, youth programming, academic support, career development resources, basic needs assistance. That we also offer an opportunity for you to get more involved within Raise the Bar, and that is through our Student Parent Advisory Council, and also known as SPAC.
Hi, my name is Christopher LaRose, and I'm the whole family program coordinator at the Huddle on 5th, located in Sacramento. I'll be going over housing insecurity, and all the things that are applicable, or what applies to you. So currently, some of these that would meet the requirements is if you're currently relying on temporary housing arrangements such as a motel, a short-term sublease that are not long-term stable housing. Temporary housing situation is expected to end soon, creating urgency for permanent housing support. If you have a dependent on an emergency financial assistance for rent and or utilities within the past 6 months, exploring ongoing housing instability beyond the listed categories, facing barriers, maintaining stable housing and financial security, seeking support to prevent homelessness and secure sustainable housing options, or if current circumstances are impacting overall stability, planning, and well-being. In terms of the application and what to expect for the next steps, applications will be available May 21st, 2026 on the Raise the Bar website. You must complete the eligibility quiz to access the application. Once you have accessed the application, you will create a user profile, which will add you to the system. Then you'll be able to access your application at any time during the application window once your profile is created. The entire application will take about 45 minutes to an hour to complete in one sitting. You will need email addresses for 2 people who will provide a recommendation. And last but not least, you will need to provide the following documents or just, really have them on hand. Your 2025 tax return, up-to-date transcripts showing all academic work, next semester's classes that you plan to enroll in, and any supporting documents related to your housing instability.
Hello, everyone. My name is Davini Cox, and I am one of the whole family coordinators that oversee Long Beach region alongside my colleague, Norma. And I will be going over some FAQs with you guys. A few questions that often come up, and maybe some of you may be thinking about them, so I'm just going to answer them. Let's kick it right off. What do I do if I have to miss a required workshop or appointment? Please, 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 please communicate that beforehand with your coordinator. Communication is key. We understand that things come up. Majority of us are parents, so we understand how that goes in juggling all things of life. So just communicate that with your coordinator as soon as you know that you won't be able to attend something. And then you guys can work out maybe doing an alternative or being excused from it. What happens if I don't give notice for missing a workshop or appointment? Your first offense of not communicating beforehand with your coordinator about missing a required workshop would be a notice, which is essentially like a warning. And that's just us stating like, hey, you missed this without giving us notice. Let us know if we can help to get you back on track so that this does not happen again. What if my grades drop below the required GPA or need additional assistance? If this happens, communicate that with your coordinator. I've seen different scenarios that come up. And so I would just say as soon as it happens, communicate that so that you guys can come up with like a game plan. Maybe that look like y'all working together to meet with your academic advisor on campus to see where you can make up these units later on. It could look like possibly going on like a provisional plan with like some action steps, weekly check-ins to just make sure nothing else happens. We can assist, we can help y'all stay on track. What are some reasons why I might not get an emergency grant if I apply? Some situations can be a little tricky. So some things that I've seen not be like not qualify would be like foreseen bills, things like phone bills, utility bills, things that you knew that were coming doesn't fall under the emergency category, if I should say. Things that I have seen get approved are like emergencies, like car accidents, where you have to pay for damages, or you may need to get a rental until the insurance kick in, emergencies like that. Can you give me an example of goals or other scholars that other scholars have set? Sure. So majority of my scholars often set educational goals near midterm season. So that looks like we have a whole month to work on this goal. So we're going to break it down into action steps. And so that looks like our ultimate goal is passing my midterm. My action steps could look like the first week, I'm jotting down everything up on flashcards. My next action step could be I'm going over chapter 1 through 5 and on and on and on until we get to that ultimate goal of taking it, being prepared for it, and passing that midterm. When can I receive or when will I receive my disbursements? All disbursements are released at the end of each month. So that looks like for this next coming up cohort year, August, the end of August would be for your September's month. End of September would be for October, and going further and further. You'll always get paid at the end of each month for the next month. Thank you. Have a good one.